Hello and welcome to the online business course. And today's lesson is lesson 6. And today we're going to be talking about the tools of work to build and maintain an online business. As it is the case for any other business, online business requires tools in order to build and maintain the business. For a classical model business, the tools of work could be for a restaurant, for example, a coffee machine, a pizza oven, forks, knives, plates, brooms, ingredients for making the food. So you have tools of business, cash register for receiving the money, paperwork, and all these are the tools of work. The same way for an online business, you have tools of work. But before I start talking about the tools of work, I just want to mention here that you have tools available that help you make websites like Wix.com, like different websites so these websites, they're good for people who don't know how to code, except that unfortunately you have to pay a monthly fee. It's a business, they're running businesses, they're selling code, and this code that they're selling, they're charging for it. So for example, in Wix, you could very easily add up to hundreds of pounds. When you start adding different functionality, different pieces of code, they charge you £2, £3 per month for each piece of code, and each piece of code costs, so they add up, and in no time you find yourself paying 250 or £300 before your business start making money, and that makes the cost of the startup very expensive indeed. And it could break your business if you are just a small person starting a business and you have no money to start. So the cost of startup is greatly reduced if you learn how to code. And let me say this, coding is not difficult. Coding is just a language. It's like if you tell me that Chinese is difficult, but 5-year-olds Chinese people speak Chinese, because it's just a language. Coding is the same thing. You learn a language, and once you learn the language, you can manipulate it and you can create anything that you can imagine with a website. Unlike tools like Wix and like tools like that, they charge you for hosting your website, they charge you for the software you use, and it becomes and they're not flexible. You cannot do anything you want. You can only do a set number of things that they have pre-arranged for you. So coding, you can do anything possible. So it is a very, very, very good idea to invest your time and effort and money in coding. It only takes a few months to learn how to code, maybe 3 months, 4 months, if you invest only 1 hour, half an hour per day. So it's about discipline, and I have a website that can help you with discipline and with maintaining your motivation level up. And I'm going to talk about the website. I'm going to show you the website because I show it in every lesson. A very important website. So this is the website, and it can help you motivate yourself. It can help you, and I did this with coding. I didn't do it in Wix, I didn't do it in any place like that. I did it by myself. I coded it, and I'm going to give you this code freely available for you to use as a template if you want. And to come back to the tools of work, now we talked about the advantage of learning how to code, and I'm going to show you how you can learn how to code. I'm going to show you how to learn, where to learn coding on your phone. You don't need even a computer. I can show you how to learn the basics until you get the hang of it, until you get the bug of coding, until you start liking it. It's like playing a guitar. When you start knowing how to play the guitar, you start liking it. Okay, let's move on to the next section. So to decrease the cost, so you'll find yourself paying hundreds of pounds if you use services online for building websites. So it's good to educate yourself, and I'm going to show you now a web app. I'm going to show you an app on your phone. It's going to help you learn how to code. So if you go to Play Store, and if you look for Solo Learn, learn to code for free. This app here, I have it installed on my computer. I learned how to code in this app. So I put here in the comments, lessons are in bite size and easy to understand. Thank you. So you can learn any programming language you want. So if you go to university, where to learn, and not now, so I just want to see what I have. As you can see, if you put here HTML, here is HTML. You can learn HTML. You can start with HTML, and it gives you everything in bite size. Very civilized way to learn, and you take your time, you take your coffee, and you start learning. So this is a paragraph between these brackets, tags, they're called tags, and you go little by little until you learn. Take your time, don't rush. It's going to take you about 3 months or 2 months with 1 hour a day or half an hour, 45 minutes per day. And we'll come back to this in a little while. Let me just go back to where I was. So that's where you can learn how to code and save yourself a lot of money and have the flexibility to do anything you want with code. So HTML, I showed you an example. Let's go back. So I can show you my website that I built on GitHub using HTML. So I started with HTML and using JavaScript and using CSS. So this is the website. It's called Meditation. And if you view the code, you can go to index.html. The extension is HTML. And as you can see here, it says HTML, and you have the head, and this is written in HTML. And then you have, when you say script, the script tag, it means it's a JavaScript. Don't worry about this terminology. Everything will become clear. I'm just showing you the first time. Nothing to worry about. And here, when you say P, it's a paragraph like I showed you on the other, on Solo Learn. You see the P here, and you see the P here. Where is it? And you see the P here. So that's how you learn. And once you get the hang of it, you can start building any website you like. So HTML, I showed you an example of HTML. Now I want to show you an example of CSS. Let's go to Solo Learn. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. And let's type CSS. There's CSS. And CSS looks like the one that is going to come right now. So the basic of CSS. What is CSS? Continue. I didn't look at the question, the answer. I'm just trying to. So to understand, you should already have a consequence regime if you want to confuse online. And what is the question? What are freestyle shields? So cascading the store. What are they for? To define web structure, or to control the look and feel of web document. Correct. So CSS. The main benefit of CSS allows you to separate style and content. So you can separate style and content. I just want to show you how it looks like. What uses CSS? It allows you to separate. Okay, so that's correct. And I want to show you. So this is how it looks like. Inline styling, like this one. Background color gray. This is CSS. So CSS is for styling your web page. Never mind, so CSS is that. Let's go back to our lesson. I showed you an example of CSS. JavaScript is a programming language, and I'm going to show you an example of JavaScript. Let's go back here. So HTML and JavaScript is here. Let's show you just how it looks like. if statement. So it looks like this: if condition, then statement. If number 1 is under number 2, alert. Write this, try it for yourself. So let's try it. So if number 1, which is equal to 7, and number 2, if number 1 is greater than number 2, write JavaScript is easy to learn. Is number 1 smaller than number 2? Sorry. Yes, it is. So if you write run, we're going to get an alert, a pop-up that is going to say JavaScript is easy to learn. Let's do it. And here is the pop-up. So that's programming for you. That's JavaScript for you. And okay, let's move on. YouTube, I want to show you, these are the tools of work we're talking about here. We talked about the programming, the things that you can build your website and maintain your website with. We talked about HTML, we talked about CSS, we talked about JavaScript. Now I'm gonna show you YouTube, and everybody knows YouTube, but I'm gonna show you how I upload my videos to YouTube. So here is my lists, my playlists. And here is the lessons that I'm doing here. So I'm building this course online. At the same time, I am uploading this to Google Drive, because this time I want to use Google Drive in order to populate a website. And I'm going to do it in front of, no, I can't do it in front of you now because I'm already using the software, but this is YouTube. And you can upload to YouTube, and then you get your videos. These are the videos that I uploaded recently. I'm working on the websites. So excellent. So we talked about YouTube, Google Documents. Yes, you can use Google Documents as well. It's tools of work. And I write my lessons here. I write my lessons here in Google Documents. As you can see, everything I'm using for my phone, but I do use my computer only about 10% of the time or 5% of the time. Most of my coding, most of my work is on the phone. So if someone tells you that you can do a business from the phone, here you go. In front of you, I'm showing you how I'm running my business from the phone. Use Google Drive as well. So Google Drive, this is Google Drive, and it's Google Docs. And it's got all these lessons, for example. What else? Let's go back to the let's go back to the lesson. Google Drive, GitHub, I showed you. Let me show you GitHub one more time. So GitHub is, I use it to house my code and to host my website for free. Read my lips. I'm hosting my website for free. I'm not paying a penny to anybody. I didn't pay a penny to anybody to build my website. I don't pay for anybody to host my website. So far, my business, I'm starting it, I'm running it for free. So that's amazing. So you don't need to pay anyone if you know how to use computers. So they don't kill your business before you even start it, because you're going to run out of cash and you have a problem with cash flow. So this business, I'm starting it for free. We use Google. So for example, I want to code something, and this one, you might think that everybody knows about Google, but I'm going to show you something amazing now. So I'm going to say how to add two numbers in JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language I'm talking about, and I'm going to ask Google how to add two numbers, and I'm going to get the answer. And that I can incorporate these pieces of code into my whole program if I want to build something. So how do I add two numbers in JavaScript? So adding two numbers. So it's a function to add two numbers. And they give you the function here in the script, function sum xy, number one. bring X, bring Y, return number 1 plus number 2. And here's the program. Here is the program for you. You see, I asked Google one question and it answered me. And once you start talking about coding, you can ask any question you want and you can add any piece of code you want. Okay, very interesting, very important. So close app. The internet, we talked about it. Telegram, let's get to Telegram from here. Telegram is a little bit like WhatsApp, and you can use it to communicate with people. So this is how I communicate with people. They can call, they can talk to me through here, and I incorporated this Telegram into my website. So if you go here, my website is t.m/mindtaxis, and I've used this code here in my website. If you click on Mind Taxis, you get to the same channel, this one, which is the link that I put is t.me/mindtaxis. Talking about the tools of work, let's go back. So we talked about Facebook. Everybody knows Facebook. I'm not going to show it. WhatsApp, everybody knows WhatsApp, and I use WhatsApp, and I use the groups in WhatsApp. As you can see, these are the tools of work. They demand a little bit of familiarity, but once you know them, once you know these tools of work, these are like a carpenter's toolbox or a restaurant owner tools of work. An online business requires tools of work, and I've showed you most of the tools that I used in building this online business and that I used to build my online businesses. And in later chapters, in later lessons, this is lesson 6. In other lessons, we're gonna tackle each one of them in detail, and we're gonna revisit Solo Learn. Let me go back to Solo Learn to show you. Go back. We're gonna revisit Solo Learn to show you how you can learn, to guide you, and you can learn your coding from Solo Learn. It takes time, but it's worth it, because you're talking about a profession that can make you rich, a profession that can give you fulfillment, a profession that can give you freedom, that you can work by yourself, for yourself, anywhere in the world. And also you could teach, like I'm teaching now, you could teach these skills to somebody and earn an income for it. So it's worth it to learn. And it takes time, and I tell you that it takes only about 3 months, although it might baffle you now. You think it's too much information, but I have meant to present a lot of information now, but I'm going to break it down one by one, and we're going to go through each one in detail, and we're going to even learn together some of the basics of HTML, some of the basics of CSS, and some of the basics of JavaScript. So this was lesson 2 about the tools of work for an online business. And I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope that you are more motivated to do this. And I hope that I didn't scare you with these tools of work. They are just tools of work. It's like a carpenter opening his toolbox and showing you 20 different tools. You know, the hammer, the saw, the nails, and I've just showed you some of the tools. Most of the tools that I'm using, actually 90%, most of them actually 100% even, but I did not show you how to use each one of them in detail, but that's going to be the subject of other lessons. Okay, have a good evening, have a good day, and have a good weekend, because today is Friday here. And I hope to make more lessons for you next time. And I hope that you enjoy the lessons and you find them pleasurable and entertaining.